Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Lone Crown Show. If people wondering why I'm not shouting as normal, it's because I can't, because it's late night and I don't want to scare everyone awake, so that's the reason. And today, I'm proud to present Dan the Man as my guest today. Welcome.
What's going on?
I'm good. Been I wouldn't say busy today, but it's more. I'm being restless because the visas for my trip to Canada haven't released yet, and apparently
Hey, that
the
sucks.
the visas for Germany, they went and like all of them gone in an hour. So I'm like, holy fuck.
Jeez.
So I'm like, I really need to be at the like. I'm hoping that nothing like when they finally announce that it's gonna release that I don't have to do something else because then I can get screwed.
You see, I wouldn't know anything about visas because I'm just your normal, average, fat white American. I wouldn't know anything about visas.
Yeah, well,
I know about cheeseburgers. That's about.
yeah, well, if maybe if you were planning to go to Europe, then you probably would have known visas. But I mean, I think so many Americans like it's hard for Americans to get enough money to like if they wanted to move to say some country in Europe because
Amsterdam. That's the place to go.
yeah. I haven't been to Amsterdam. My one of my best friends been to Amsterdam. He paid for a prostitute and he was not happy with the service he got.
The only knowledge I have of Amsterdam is from Eurotrip. That's all I know.
Oh man. Oh man, that
That's a good
movie.
movie. That's a good
Yeah.
movie.
Damn, it's fun for Europeans as well to watch that movie because it's like seeing how Americans see Europe. So that's like that movie is really great. Yeah, yeah. Amsterdam, like yeah, seems like a great country to just see all kinds of different things.
But you probably won't remember any of it. But
No, maybe not. Yes, so today's episode will mostly be about games because I haven't talked about games and Dan is really passionate about games.
that's
So,
all. That's the only knowledge I have of anything at life is video games. I don't know about anything else.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, that's a good life.
To an
Who
extent.
cares? Yeah, I mean, like, there are people who only care about football or soccer, as the Americans call it here in Europe, and the life consists of only of that. So, I mean, why is it different that it's only about video games? So,
Oh no, it's different because we're nerds. It's
yeah,
different.
yeah. I mean, it's not like, I mean, like you used to go and watch sports. I mean, like one thing if you're like playing them sports all the time, but you're only watching them and be like, oh my god, talking down like you nerds for playing video games all day. I'm going to games and do nothing and watch stuff like
Yeah, but it's kind of funny how gaming is actually looked at differently today. It's actually accepted more today than it was back when I was a kid. See, back when I was a kid, I was made fun of
hmm.
all the time for playing games by men, women, anybody.
Yeah. I
I
mean
kind of wish I was a kid today.
yeah, it's a cool thing. I mean, I wouldn't say that I was made fun of, but like in general, like my age was still at the point where you kind of look down a bit on it. You're like, it's you do sports instead. You do activities, hang out with friends instead. Like that's better
Go
than game.
outside and do something.
Yeah, like that's so fucking easy to say when there's nothing outside to do. Like go outside, yes. And what the fuck do you want me to do? Go outside
Just
and
go do
do?
something. Just get away from me. Just
Yeah.
go do something.
Yes. So yes. So I think we will start with the order 1886 because that was one of the biggest reasons why I had Dan on because I want to.
Because I'm a fanboy. You can say it. That's
No,
fine.
I mean you just like you like the game, so of course you're gonna like support the game because so many people are bashing it. You like people automatically be that they want to defend something they like
Yeah.
like I would when it comes to Dragon Age or something like that, I would, of course, if it was back in the day when Dragon Age Origins and someone said it was shit and all that, I probably would have like
fighting words right there.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you can tell me your like full opinion on Order 1886, and then I can jump in how I see the game. I can't say how the game. I have only seen the gameplay, so I won't comment on like, oh, it's the gameplay is this that. I can only comment on what I've seen, and it looks like solid from my standpoint. But I won't like. I just comment on the story and that sort of stuff. So it's your.
All right. Now, before I continue, I'd like to point out I do have a full review of this game. So if you want to put the link in the description later.
Yes, I will do that.
Full review of the game.
Yes.
So to just basically summarize it, the Order 1886 is basically a really solid game that probably isn't worth its full price tag, but it definitely needs to be played by anyone who loves third-person shooters, action games, who has a PS4, because in some ways, it does a lot of groundbreaking things. And despite its shortcomings, it really needs to be experienced by everybody, in my opinion. I mean, if you have to rent it, just definitely do that if you can.
Yeah,
so
I think
it basically hovers in the middle. It's not amazing, even though it's amazing in some parts.
Yeah.
But it's not complete shit, like some people are saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been like harping on the devs for a long time when it comes to Order 86, but I honestly think that it's like from seeing where everything sort of went wrong, I think they had the idea to make it like a fantastic game.
There's definitely a lot of groundwork.
Yeah. But they hadn't.
Would prove to be an amazing sequel.
Yeah. I think they weren't given enough time, and they had to cut corners a little bit, I feel like, and some decisions doesn't seem really correctly. So I mean, I think that Sony did the wrong thing because, I mean, I understand that they want something exclusive to show to everyone, but with how everyone sees AAAs right now, it would have been better if it just like, yeah, they could have taken a hit with how people like saw them. Like, would if they would have said, okay, this game needs another year or something like that. I don't know if that would be enough time or whatever, like how much time it needed.
Well, they did say that they had 5 years to make it. I don't know if that's way too much time or if that wasn't enough time, but
the thing,
a lot of people have said that this really should have probably been a launch title for the PS4.
Yeah, it was.
People were comparing it to Rise.
It was meant to be a launch title, I think, from the beginning, but it just.
I know it was delayed, but I don't think it was supposed to be a launch title. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, if it has been in production 5 years, you would have think that it would have been supposed to be a launch title, but they delayed it without saying it to anybody. It was just in production. They were like, we can't possibly have it out by the time this, so don't even tease about it all, like it's coming out when the console is released and that sort of stuff. Yeah, but I mean, my like, I think like everyone agrees the graphics are amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. And actually, some people have called me crazy for saying this, but they're the best I've ever seen anywhere. That includes all platforms, including PC. And I'm not saying that there isn't anything better looking. I'm just talking about from what I've seen. I mean, if anyone wants to show me something better looking, you're more than welcome to. That'd be great.
I think
I love Iborne. That'd be great.
I think like graphics wise, I think they're a lot of PC games that looks better, like just graphics wise, but I think immersive wise, I don't think anyone has come close to the immersive type of graphics that the Order 1886.
Oh yeah, because there were lots of times when I was playing it where I would just look around and just be amazed at the atmosphere and the world that was surrounding me. Although it would have been better if those fucking black bars were not there that cut off a third of the screen.
Yeah.
Cut off some of these amazing graphics that I'm trying to look at.
Yeah. I think that they needed those because they couldn't, like some people have been saying they needed those because like problem with rendering and that sort of stuff. Like it takes you need more like render capacity and that sort of stuff. And like if this was made on the PC, I think it would have been the game that they wanted to make. But they I think they tried with all their might to do as best they could with the PS4, but unfortunately they maybe didn't have the time to make it. Like it takes longer time with the capacity they have to work with.
Yeah, that could be true. I mean, because I don't know the actual reasoning that they have these black bars. I mean, other than I guess they want to make it more cinematic.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have worked during the cutscenes. I wouldn't have minded seeing
Yeah.
the cutscenes, but when I'm trying to play the damn game and I'm trying to shoot things, and some enemies are getting cut off the screen because of a black bar and I can't see them and they're shooting at me, we have an issue here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
and honestly, it's 2015. You shouldn't have these kind of issues at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you really shouldn't.
Yeah, and also like one of the reasons why I wouldn't get the game is people don't know that like when you zoom in when shooting areas, they're like some sort of blur.
Oh yeah,
effect, and
I think field of blur.
Yeah,
there is a term for it, but I can't think of it off the
top of my head. Depth of field.
There we go. Depth of field. There we go.
So yeah,
I mean, that never bothered me, but I can understand if it would bother somebody with poor vision.
Yeah, well, not much poor vision, but that's the thing. Like my eyes, I suffer eye fatigue due to the fact that
so that would affect you pretty badly.
Yeah, so the fact that watching screens and when it comes to like that's why when I went go to the cinema and that sort of stuff, I always get the headache afterwards because of the like you get the motion blur in such other.
And there's a lot of shaky cam. Game too, like the environments, the screen will shake and stuff, which is cool to see, but people with poor vision would have an issue with that.
Yeah, it's funny. I have perfect vision, but I have eye fatigue. So like it's
you can't win. You can't win.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly because I watch too much screens. Spend way too much on computers and that sort of stuff. My own damn fault, but hey, that's what you get. Yeah. So also you wanted to speak more about. Wait, we can more spoke. What do you think about the story? Because
the story.
Yeah.
I like the story. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was particularly amazing, but it was good enough to suck me into it and made me want to see what happens next. Now I know there are a lot of people out there that hated that ending.
Well, I like here's my. I have no problem with them cutting off and not like having not so long as they explain something like they like need to feel like you have like for instance if you watch a movie. Like if you're comparing people like say like if you watch Lord of the Rings, yeah, but you sit there for 3 hours and like you don't want to watch, like it feels like complete in some ways because you like have watched it for 3 hours and like you get your fulfillment of the like whole thing.
So what you're trying to say is that some things should at least be explained at the end. It's okay to leave some things.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, I think they did that. I mean, I don't. The things.
I think.
Okay,
no,
tell me what needed to be explained.
Okay, no, not explain, but it feels like they were ramping up for the finale. Like how the pacing went is like you have your twist in the middle, then you have like another and then you like
They did have a good twist though.
yeah,
They did have a good twist. I really enjoyed that.
then you build up. You like, oh, I'm ready for the last. Like you like that should be the final build up part, the final of the Order 186, and then you have something else, because it feels like it was all about to like, okay, now they're building up, now they're like, now we're gonna see some final thing. Instead it just cut short there, and it's like cutting off like last the like last, not last third but last fourth of a movie. That's how I feel.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I mean, I personally wasn't bothered because I enjoyed the game so much. I want to see a sequel, so I don't mind not knowing some things. But I think it's also important to point out that after the credits, there was one additional cutscene.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of people don't want to point that out, but
yeah,
I mean, I know that cutscene doesn't explain a ton, but it's there.
Yeah,
and it does need to be mentioned.
Yeah, it's there. I just felt like,
because I'm sure some people, after they cut to black, they're like, "What the fuck?" and then they throw their controller and they destroy their PS4 and they don't know about that cutscene.
Yeah, and even the people who watched that last cutscene was like, okay, now like they thought that this is gonna explain some things, and I don't really feel like it gave you.
It didn't do that great of a job.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I mean, that's just my personal feeling. Like that, from a person who likes pacing a lot, it was like they just cut it off before you just got any.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I've seen worse endings though. I'd like to point that out. I've seen much worse endings in games.
Yeah. I mean,
and I know this is gonna piss some people off, but I think Mass Effect 3's ending was much worse.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 wasn't.
I can hear Nate getting pissed off already.
Yeah, like, I understand. That's also ending that some people enjoyed and some people didn't. Like, my problem wasn't really Mass Effect 3. The reason why the ending didn't bother me was because I was already pissed off at the other point in the whole game, because
I mean, I don't mean to divert the topic to Mass Effect 3, but I just want to talk about quickly why I hate that ending. The thing I hated about that ending was that it basically went against everything that the game was supposed to be. The whole game was supposed to be about your choices, your decisions.
Yeah.
You get to make the ending.
Yeah.
And instead, and the funny thing is the developers said we will not have an A, B, C choice ending, which that was an A, B, C choice ending, and all the endings were pretty much very similar. There was really no choice. It's not like Mass Effect 1 and 2, where the ending was actually because of your choices.
Yeah.
And you had freedom for that ending. Mass Effect 3 didn't give it to you. That's what pissed me off, because it was already an established series. See, the Order is a new IP.
Yeah.
Now, see, if they pull this shit in the second Order game, whatever it's going to be, the Order 1892, whatever, I don't know what they're going to call the sequel. If they do it again, then I'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
That's when I get pissed off.
Yeah. Everyone's like, the problem is with doing that sort of stuff is like, people like, are Sony gonna like be like still going to try and get the sequel out because the negative feedback? That's like, I really hope that they will like stick their guns out because of their decision. That like, it's like the problems with this game is, I feel like, it's from Sony's part, so they should man up for it and also make it a sequel and say, we will give
the game is actually selling really well, so there is going to be a sequel.
Okay.
There is definitely, because the game's, I think it sold 2.5 million already. I know it's sold too. Sold too.
Yeah, I mean, it had good hype, it had good like marketing behind it, so I mean, of course, I thought it would do well because of that, because like Sony would be pushing it and that sort of stuff. So I mean, like, it's kind of expected. I mean, there are gonna be a lot of probably disappointed people because I don't think it was what people expected, sort of.
Well, another factor you have to understand. I also made a video, not to do a
Yeah, yeah.
shameless plug here, but I made a video about why you should never overhype yourself for games.
Mm,
Doesn't matter what type of game it is.
mm,
Never overhype it because then you start to set expectations way too high,
yeah.
and you expect the game to be perfect. Now, no game is perfect, despite what certain people out there call Nintendo fanboys. They think these games are perfect. There's not a single game out there that's perfect. So when you set that standard, then you finally play the game, and the game is not perfect, your excitement gets deflated.
Mm,
So even if the game is still a good game,
yeah.
you're not going to see it that way. You're going to see it as a disappointment.
Yeah.
See, that's why I never get too excited about any game. I always go in with the expectations that this is going to be a solid game.
Yeah.
And more often than not, I'm not
Or
disappointed.
you can, like me, bash the game, and if Order 1886 turned out to be great, and we'll be like, oh shit,
you
I
set
was
your
wrong. Yeah,
expectations
fuck
low.
it. Yeah, and like, no, not really. I'm just like, for instance, the Dragon Age game, I was really like, didn't want to like, because I didn't think the story was going to be at my liking. And lo and behold, the story wasn't to my liking.
You're talking about Origins, right?
No, Inquisition.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I-
Origins.
I'm actually
I loved
disappointed with
Origins.
Inquisition.
Dragon Age Origins is my favorite game
Yeah,
Oh.
it's definitely the best Dragon Age game. Inquisition.
because the pacing in that game is perfect.
I have
Dragon
honestly,
Age Inquisition's pacing is fucking weird as hell. Like it's so
The
confusing.
problem is because it's an open world game now.
Yeah,
So when it's an open world game, you have to set all these little meaningless side quests that divert your attention. And then once you do all these side quests and you keep doing them because you have to do them because you have to get money, resources, and
yeah,
weapons and armor, you then forget about the main story completely.
Hmm.
See, Dragon Age Origins was streamlined towards main story.
yeah. I mean, like you had like decently open areas, but it was also linear. And I think
Yeah.
you also had choices of where you wanted to go. You could do it however you liked. You could go to start with going to that area, or you could go to another area. You could choose however you wanted to go about doing that game. And also, I want to point out that in Dragon Age Origins, the choices actually matter.
Yeah.
And
And,
that,
and there were actually more things to say.
yes,
Didn't have a dialogue wheel.
you
That-
got
it's
three
like,
options.
here's a good answer, a neutral answer, and a bad answer.
Mm.
The Dragon Age Origins actually gave you many answers to, and you actually had to read them
Yeah.
to see whether or not you would actually want to say that.
Also, I like that options because, like, especially with Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition had the same problem. And like, it says something, and then you say something completely different what you thought you were about to say, and you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that. Now he just said that. Then what the fuck am I
Yeah.
supposed to do? Like, yeah, I hate.
But the dialogue wheel is here to stay. It's
Ah.
here to stay.
I used like that annoyed the crap out of me in Dragon Age Inquisition because ultimately you can't like you have some options how you want your character to be, but ultimately your character is the same type of person every fucking time you play it. Like that I've played like I played a second time through like I don't know how much 40 hours until I stopped with that one because like it was like I'm playing the same character again even though I was trying to be different. I used the
Feels
Dragon
different.
Age keep to use like different backgrounds. Like it didn't feel different. I even kill like right now I killed Liliana in the Dragon Age keep, and I was like, holy fuck, what happens if I do that? Like in the first game, Liliana can die. And so that moment when she tells you like in the game that she was almost dead, but some way she survived or something like that. I'm like, Damn it.
It's like your choice didn't matter,
Exactly.
which defeats the whole purpose of what the Mass Effect series and the Dragon Age series were founded upon.
Yeah, and also the Anders situation. I decided like, okay, what happens if you let him live? Like in the Dragon Age Keep, I just said like he was alive, and then I was asking about him in the game, and they're like, oh yeah, because you spared him, everyone just let your decision be final, and everyone let him go. I was like, holy fuck, he just killed fucking tons of people, and everyone's just gonna be, hey, I'm cool with it. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's what I didn't like when you talked to what's his name? Varric. Yeah, Varric. And you go over all these characters that from the previous games,
Yeah.
and it's just like he's just going through the motions.
Yeah,
You don't get to see most of these people.
yeah,
None of that really transpires into anything.
yeah,
So it's like it seemed like it was kind of pointless. It's
Yeah.
like you don't need to do that to
Yeah.
play Inquisition.
and the persons, people are like doing what
See,
they're
now I feel like I
expected.
wasted my time doing that damn Dragon Age Keep. I spent 3 hours on that damn thing, and I feel like I wasted my time. I want
Yeah,
my
yeah,
3 hours back.
I felt the first time, at least I did. It was like I did all the option, like I did all the choices I did in my like perfect playthrough. So I was kind of happy about that, but I'm not happy about the fact that when I changed everything up now, when I tried to play it again, and like nothing really felt different, nothing really mattered what you did different, really. So maybe it's further in the game that something changed, but there's
I'm willing
few
to bet it
things.
doesn't. I'm willing to bet it doesn't do much.
Doesn't do much. It doesn't really matter. Matter is the key word here. Yeah, I just find it hilarious that everyone just let Anders roam free after like killing all those people. Like, oh, everyone agreed with Hawk. I'm like, what the fuck? No, they didn't. Somebody wanted to straight
Sure,
up.
one person that would have disagreed.
Yeah, like he would have been like, or at least he would have been at the like hearing and died at the fucking like conclave meeting in the beginning of the game. He would straight
Yeah.
up be dead there. Like that would have made sense at least. I just found it really weird. Yeah, not talk more about Dragon Age though. Okay, so back to like one of the things about you wanted to talk a little bit about what you've seen people say about the Order 1886.
Oh, yes. This is a special rant that I was going to make a video on that I'm
Yeah.
saving it for this podcast, so
Yeah,
you all
Go.
should feel special.
go for it.
Now, I'm not going to do a full rant.
No, I
Do kind of a back and forth. Full rant. You know my full rants.
yeah, they take a long
It's
time.
going
So
forever.
yeah,
And I don't want anyone falling asleep. Don't fall asleep. Oh, God. DSP's review and Angry Joe's review. Now, see, these are two guys that I really enjoy their reviews.
yeah,
But even if I don't agree with stuff that they say, I know they're being honest. That is
Yeah.
their honest feelings
Like,
about this game.
I just want to say one thing. Like
Sure.
most people about like everyone's gonna see their 4 out of 10. Both of them did exactly like both of them saying it's 4 out of 10 is because they're so disappointed about the AAA's games like have been all year. Like
Well, see,
this
the
game.
funny thing is that that's not my issue. The score that they gave is actually fine.
Yeah,
I'm
but
fine with them
I
thinking
just
it's 4 out of
want to
10.
say it would have been like 6 or something like that if they would have been more honest. I feel like I'm not saying that.
It's not really them not being honest.
I just feel like
The problem I have with their
stuff
reviews
with
is that they
AAAs.
lied about stuff. That's the problem I have.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna shut up
It's-
and let you.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's cool. It is your show. It is
Yeah,
my
yeah.
show.
But I just wanted to point that out. Like, yeah.
Like, see, I wish I wrote down all this stuff in hindsight now. I wish
Okay.
I written all these points down, but like, I'll give you one example. Angry Joe talked about how the game is filled with QuickTime events. Like, complete from start to finish, it's filled with QuickTime events. And right after
Well,
that,
I mean, isn't that like how you feel? How he felt like it was with it all the time. I agree that like from like
Can I
most
can I
people.
finish that point
Yeah,
real quick?
yeah, sure.
Right after he said that, he showed a clip. Now I know this might be me nitpicking just for the
Mm.
sake of it. I just think it's funny how out of all the reviews he's done, and he's been to E3 and all this stuff, how he could overlook something like this. But okay, right after he
Mm.
said that, he showed the clip of Gallahan reaching for the key to his cuffs,
Yeah,
where you have to hold triangle.
yeah.
That's not a quick time event.
No,
A quick
that's
time
true.
event is when you have to click a button in a quick fashion. You're timed. That is not a timed event. You can sit there for
But
5 minutes and just let him sit there.
didn't he like mention something else and like stupid like exercise? Like I think he said something right before. Like he was ranting about quick time events, but I don't remember exactly the video, but I
See,
think in the video, but I think he said something before that and like stupid like exercises or whatever it is he called it.
see, the problem is that people are misconstruing what a quick time event is. See, they might see something in the game that may look like a quick time event, but it's not a quick time event. Like, there's
Mm.
one part in the order where you have to pull a lever to drop the people from the
Mm.
Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That's not a quick time event.
No.
That's just pressing a button to do something.
I,
Now,
I don't think we have a like. I think the problem is sort of like we don't have really a word for that because like people are saying like heavy rain. Oh man, it's so many quick time events, but really some of like a lot of stuff is you pressing buttons and like I don't know what you would really call that.
It's called pressing a button.
Yeah, like
That's what it's
button
called.
event. Like what are you, like
So I was thinking about it after he said that. In hindsight, there really isn't that many QuickTime events in the order. There's only a few scenes where you actually have to do QuickTime events, and then you have the Lycan fights where you have to do QuickTime events to dodge. But the actual fight itself is you actually pressing buttons in combat. The only QuickTime event in there is to dodge.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, when you really think about what a QuickTime event actually is, the game isn't really filled with a lot of them. Like in my opinion, the Resident Evil games, especially the later ones, have more QuickTime events.
Yeah.
And not only that, and keep in mind, I don't like QuickTime events.
Yeah.
So this is me defending QuickTime events. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I like them when they're used properly, and I think the Order did them well because none of them were hard.
Yeah.
They're not
They
too
were not.
easy.
Yeah, and we're not like I'm not saying
Resident
like
Evil 6.
somebody-
Resident
they
Evil
look
6,
more-
if you put that on the hardest difficulty,
Yeah.
you have to press 2 buttons at once.
Yeah.
Quickly. That you know how many controllers almost broke because of that damn thing? See, that's doing QuickTime events wrong.
Yeah.
The Order did them fine, in my opinion. And I don't see how people can complain about it.
Mm.
Another thing he complained about, I remember when he talked the stealth section in Chapter 11,
Yeah.
and he complained that, he hated that he gets insta-kill when he gets spotted.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of people complain that stealth in video games isn't true stealth.
Yeah.
That's true stealth. You
I
have
think-
to
I
be
think-
stealthy or you
yeah,
fail.
I think-
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I think like it's the stealth thing. The only thing that like it shouldn't have been like insta kill you. It should more be like calling the guards and everyone's flood that way and you get overwhelmed and like captured. But they probably think like, well, you're gonna do it that much, so
Yeah, I can agree with that. I would have liked to see that too, but here's why I don't have an issue with being insta-kill. And this is just
I
my
think they
personal
wanted
opinion.
it to go fast so that people weren't annoyed that like you get instantly back into the stealth mode again, and like that was the easiest way to do it. Like you insta kill.
See, that's why I didn't have a problem with being insta-killed. Because the stealth section in that game is a joke.
Mm.
It's insanely easy. If you get spotted several times, you just suck. I'm sorry. And I'm not trying to attack Angry Joe, because I don't know how well he actually does in games, because he doesn't actually do playthroughs, like DSP.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but he
if you get
plays
caught, I played that section
recently.
twice. I played
Yeah.
that section twice, because I had to redo the section to get collectibles.
Yeah.
I only got caught once. If you get caught like 3 or 4 or 5 times, you just suck. I'm sorry, you just suck, and that's not the game's fault. And I'm being serious. That's not the game's
Yeah.
fault.
But
I've been
I've
through it
also
twice.
heard
All,
that,
all the guards, they follow a set pattern,
yeah.
and you can stealth kill them which is a quick time event, by the way.
Yeah.
It isn't a hard quick time event, but it's a quick time event. Or you could just shoot him in the head with a crossbow from a distance.
Hmm.
It's not difficult.
Yeah, I just think I have heard that people like they have like certain people have problems with them spotting you even though you're in cover. Like the game, uh, like some people have been a little bit unlucky with them people spotting you even though you're like in cover and they shouldn't see you. I've heard that some people have had that issue. I'm not saying.
But But see, the thing is, were they completely in cover? Because see,
I don't know. I've just
the Order's cover system isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
You have to actually go in all the way to the wall in order to be in cover. If you slightly move out of cover, it puts you out of cover and it raises your body a bit.
Yeah.
So maybe they could have seen Gallahan's head.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying what I've heard. I don't know if it's correct. I'm just saying that some people. And yeah, but
I think it comes down to people have to assess their own skill at the game rather than just blaming the game when they constantly fail. Personally, I think the reason anyone who constantly failed at that part is that they were trying to rush through it because they didn't want to do it. Because maybe they hate stealth sections, or whatever. But that's not the game's fault. That's your fault, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I can sort of like see Angry-O's perspective because he was probably annoyed at just the game in general.
He wanted to get the review done because he's on a schedule. That's what it is.
No, I just think he didn't enjoy the game. So playing a game that you don't enjoy is like, of course, you're gonna mess up and that sort of stuff. So he usually is open-minded, but I mean, when he has problems with the game, I'm like, fuck's sake, you played for Right to Hell Retribution, so I mean, it's not that bad. So I mean,
yeah, we'll see. Well, not to rant on that game, but the difference between that game and The Order is that Ride to Hell is actually technically an abysmal piece of shit. On a technical level, it's a piece of shit. On a technical level, The Order doesn't suck on a technical level because there's nothing wrong with how the game operates.
Yeah. I mean, it has a little bit problems with AI though. Like that is something, even though I have only watched it, can tell by how the AI. Like,
okay,
they didn't have. I don't think
the
they had enough, like fleshing out the AI. I don't think it's horrible from looking at it, but I don't know if they had the time to flesh it out.
Okay. Here's the thing about AI, and this is what people are misconstruing from what I see. There's enemy AI, and then there's ally AI. The ally AI in The Order sucks.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But the enemy AI is really good. There were some times in the game where you are facing snipers, and they literally, as soon as you get out of cover, bam, instantly shoot you, and they wait. They sit there and they wait. There's one section, I think it's chapter 3, I think.
Yeah.
There's one part where it's the first time you encounter a sniper. I literally sat there and I was just amazed that this motherfucker's not going to shoot till I got a cover, and he's just sitting there, aiming right at my cover. And I pop out 1 second later, shoots me. And I was sitting there like, wow, an actual smart AI. I was amazed. I was also pissed off because I was playing on hard and I was dying. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not used to playing a game with smart enemy AI. Now, I'm not going to say that every single enemy in the game is smart because the Lycans are pretty stupid.
Yeah.
And Angry Joe did mention this, and yes, in the footage he showed, yes, it was streamlined. The Lycan kept running down the same path. That doesn't happen all the time.
No, but
sometimes they change directions.
Yeah, they change direction, but he just do the
they're
same thing.
They're still piss easy.
Yeah.
They're still piss easy.
Yeah.
So, but the actual human AI, I thought was really good.
I think it's really weird how that's like some AI parts are like you said really good, and then you have the ally AI, then you have the Lycans AI, and like it's so weird. Like it's like the dev team that made it all, like they have a really talented person who works on the human AI, and then they have that idiot working on the rest or something like
Well,
that.
see, I think they also did that because they also need to make it somewhat easier for people because most people, when they're playing a game, and if it's too hard, they'll get mad and then they'll
Yeah,
blame the
but then
game.
you could have made the ally a little bit better, couldn't you?
So you kind of like disperse the AI, like, okay, here's some easy enemies, but then here's some more challenging enemies later on. It kind of diversifies it. I never really saw the issue with that personally, but that's just me.
Like, yeah, it's not a, like, I don't understand. That's not really. Yeah, I agree. It's not that much of a problem with it.
I mean, keep in mind, I used to play NES games, and a lot of those games were unbeatable because of how hard the AI is.
Mm.
So people think today's gaming is hard. You don't know nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. If you think
Yeah,
gaming is hard. If you think Dark Souls is hard, you know nothing.
I don't think Dark Souls is hard. I just find like that type of game. It's just find it annoying, because
I know. I
for
was
me
just
it
naming the
would
game as an
for me
example
it
because
would
people like to pedestal that game.
yeah
It's like,
it
oh, this is when games were challenging. I'm like, no, this game is piss easy
yeah
compared to the games
yeah
I'm used to play.
it's more drag like a game that drags out for you because every fucking like thing can kill you easily and that sort of stuff, and like the certain like people are used to like you have this lower tier of like they can never really kill you unless they like really swarm you, but in Dark Souls and that sort of stuff everything can kill you, and that's what makes it take
And
longer time.
those games get easier once you level up in those games, and
Yeah.
once you know the enemy's pattern. Those games
Yeah.
eventually get easier over time.
Yeah.
The games I used to play never got easier. Never got easier. Okay,
Yeah.
so
What?
let's talk about Phil's review. And now, once again, I wish I remembered everything, but there's one thing that he stated. Actually, there's two things he stated. Two things he stated that stick out in my mind that I just couldn't believe somebody actually said this. So the first thing, he said that, the order might have been better if you had side quests with monster hunting. Please show me a linear third-person shooter that has side quests, that has diversing paths, because I don't know of any. See, it's one thing if you wish for a game to be something else.
Well, I think, like, in this certain, like, I think you could have done it, but, I mean, it would be like, you go back to Galahad's past more, or like, a little bit younger, or something like that. You could go through, like, his most, like, different, like, scenarios where he encountered lichens and different monsters.
Well, see that's fine. That's adding more content.
Yeah. I think that, I mean,
That's not the same as having a diversing path with side quests.
yeah, I think
Side quests is something that you don't have to do,
mm,
and that he actually said that. He said side quests.
yeah, and
Uncharted doesn't have side quests.
well,
Gears of War doesn't have side quests.
well, he also
These are linear third-person shooters. It's straightforward. I mean, if you don't like that genre, if you think that genre can be boring, that's fine. But it's that don't bash the game for that when it's just playing up to its genre.
Mm.
And the other thing he said that the game was marketed to be a monster hunting game. When the fuck did anybody say this was going to be a game that was about hunting monsters? From what I saw, this was going to be a game set in Victorian London that has mythological creatures. I don't... And they complain that there's human enemies. Well, because it's set in a realistic time period with some mythological creatures. Of course you're going to fight humans. Especially since these humans turn into these lichens.
Yeah.
I mean, if you fought nothing but monsters the entire game, or just lichens, that would get kind of boring.
I think the problem he has with it is more to the point that, like, how poor, like, the lichen combat is. I think, like, you expect, yeah, sure, it's okay to fight humans. I think, like, if we would have fell on, like if I had a discussion. I think he would be like, he would probably so disappointed how the monster fight is in that game. You want it to be sort of special in that game.
Yeah.
You want the lichen, like when you encounter the lichens, like this is gonna be tougher, like this is like they're like lichens. I mean, this is gonna be hard fights.
Well, see,
instead,
that's fine. That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine if you wanted more challenging fights with them. But don't say that, oh, they lied to you and they said that this was going to be a game that's about monster hunting. They never said that. That's my issue, is when you lie about the game. I have no problem with people wanting certain parts of the game to be improved upon, because there are definitely some parts of the game that could have been improved upon.
I think, but the tone is towards monster like monster fighting. So that therefore, like those parts needs to be like the best parts. Like sure, you probably gonna fight people as well. Like it's the easiest way to do it.
It's not set in a fantasy time period or a fantasy setting. It's set in an actual real time period. Yeah. It's not like games like Gears of War where it's completely fantasy from start to finish. So you could create all these different weird enemy types because none of them actually exist.
Yeah.
This game is different from that. I mean, Uncharted had this thing. Uncharted.
I think though that one thing that I have an issue with is they had like, you have lichens and you have like vampires, like in that sort of like mythological area. I think it was a perfect opportunity for once to create something new, like something like this type of world. Maybe this something is normal. Not saying that they're like humans, but another type of mythological creatures. Because I'm like for me, this game, I just wanted to go and watch Underworld again. And Underworld isn't like the most fantastic movie. It's a good one.
The good ones, right? Not the bad ones.
Yeah, but like the later ones are just like you love them because they're so bad. Like that's my like, and I think you need to like have some sort of things that stand out, and I just wish they could have grasped that opportunity. Maybe they will do some sort of thing like that in the next one. I'm hoping.
It's easy to sit here and say they could have done this, or they could have messed around with this and created something. That's fine, and maybe they will in the future. Got to keep in mind, this is a new IP. This is the first game. Yeah. They probably might not want to unleash all of their ideas already into the first game.
Still more when it comes to new IP, still more interesting than Watch Dogs. I'm gonna lay that down. Like, I think I've played a total of 2 hours of Watch Dogs. Like that.
I actually like Watch Dogs. It's not amazing, but I don't think it's crap either. Because I don't go into these games overhyped.
No, I didn't go into it overhyped.
There's actually a lot of things Watch Dogs did that was solid, and it lays, once again, it's like this game. It lays the groundwork for a potential fantastic sequel.
Yeah.
But there were certain parts of the game that didn't hit the mark.
Yeah. I think like some things hadn't, like, because they wanted to have these type of quality things like amazing graphics and certain stuff. They needed to.
I'll tell you what killed me in Watch Dogs. That fucking drinking game. That drinking mini game for that stupid fucking lubricant trophy that made me rage quit. That I don't have the platinum in that game to this day because of that trophy. And the trophy was so hard, they had to make a patch to make the trophy easier. 3 months later. And I still have no interest in going to it.
Watch Dogs,
I don't drink. Okay, don't give me drunk stuff to do and make me flip the sticks and then reverse the button order and then make the screen all no! I don't want to do that. That's not fun. And then it's like, okay, you completed level 1. You have 9 more levels to go and they get harder each time. oh, and if you fail, you have to restart the whole thing. Fuck you. Fuck you. And it's only a bronze trophy. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Sometimes these people make these trophy decisions, like making that a bronze trophy.
Yeah.
I know it's me speaking as a trophy guy, and no one out there probably cares about what I'm saying right now, but...
Yeah, well, people are like, some are like on Xbox, liking Xbox achievements, some are trophy people, like, yeah, there are plenty of people.
Like, there's some achievements on 360 that are only 10 points, that are probably some of the hardest stuff to do. Like, here we go, perfect. Max Payne 3, there's one mode where you have to beat the entire game on the hardest difficulty without dying once. If you die once, that's it. You only get 10 gamer score. 10. 10! And on PS3, you just get a silver trophy. And they actually said that they did that on purpose because they wanted to see who was truly the hardcore player. Like, who will go for it. And that's fine, but you just told me, okay, I'm not getting the platinum in this game.
Yeah, I never been one for trophies and that sort of stuff. I don't know.
I love it.
I think it's like I would like if the game set up stuff to do, like get like in the game itself, then maybe I would do it.
You want to know why I like it? It's because it adds more replay value to the game. I mean, people want to complain that, oh, these games don't have replay value. Well, trophies and achievements add replay value. Maybe you want to... Like, I never had a reason back in the Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo days to put games on the hardest difficulty. Because there was no reward. I mean, there may have been a reward at the end of the game after you beat it, but you don't know.
Yeah.
See, at least nowadays, okay, if I put it on the hardest difficulty, I'll get this trophy. Or I'll get this lot of gamer score for this. It's like a little bit of incentive now. It still doesn't really mean anything in the end.
Yeah.
But at least there's something there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just got addicted to it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not as bad as others out there. Like, there are some people out there that will not stop until they get every single achievement or every single trophy in a game. See, I used to be like that, but I've gotten to a point where it's like, okay, if this one's too hard, just fuck it. I'm just gonna move. That's how I am now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm never getting the Watch Dogs Platinum. Despite the fact that I'm only missing 4 trophies.
Yeah,
Or the Destiny Platinum.
Oh, yeah.
Destiny Platinum, where the only trophies I have left is doing raids on hard without dying.
Shit, that's just brutal.
Yes. I'm never getting that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, raids in Destiny, like, you always, like, suddenly just hit by everything at once and you're instantly dead and you're like, okay, that goes.
The main problem with raid is that there's no raid matchmaking. That's the problem. You have to have actual people playing. You have to actually gather a team, and that's fine. But have matchmaking.
Yeah.
Why is that the only mode that doesn't have matchmaking? I mean, that's like playing Call of Duty and be like, okay, Team Deathmatch has matchmaking, but you want to play Capture the Flag? Nope, no matchmaking.
It's weird
That
because
makes no sense.
They, for some reason, I think they want people to make like clans or make like people go on Bungie. Like they want people to go on their website to like oh shit, here you can go into clans and you can meet people.
We did that
like,
in Halo, and we still had matchmaking and everything.
Yeah.
You know, Halo, the game Bungie used to make.
Yeah.
The only game they were known for, by the way, the only real game they've ever really made.
Yeah, I've been to go to something more positive. I've been playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and
I know nothing about Dragon Ball Z.
I used to read the Dragon Ball books when I was, I don't know, 9, 10.
Not to offend all Dragon Ball Z fans. I mean, I tried to get into it, I just couldn't. I mean, the only animes I ever really gotten into was the old Pokemon.
I read
the first season. The only other anime was Yu-Gi-Oh. I really got into the Yu-Gi-Oh anime.
Yeah, I actually read
until it sucked, and then I left.
I read the Dragon Ball manga. Was how I got into. So I read up until when in that, like, for people, this is for the rest of people. I read an up until like after the Android saga and then Cell saga, where before I ended, because it's that at that point it was like becoming ridiculous, because how the fuck do you always encounter more powerful people exactly at the same time? Like, oh shit, we barely won this one. Now someone else more powerful shows up, and then someone else more powerful shows up, and then someone, like, what the fuck? How do you always find someone else more powerful? Like, this is. Oh.
Do you see that? That point, it went right over my head. Nothing but what you just talked about.
Well, the fact that you meet someone more powerful, then you encounter more powerful, then more powerful, like, that is something been done in like everything for ever. But the way they did it in Dragon Ball, I just felt like they overdid it a bit. Like, everyone became like
Everyone
gods.
became super powerful.
Yeah.
Then it becomes kind of, I guess it becomes kind of boring if everybody is. It's kind of like Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like Superman. Ooh, nothing can hurt me except one thing.
Yeah.
But everything else, fuck it, I can take it.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I've been playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and it was a really fun experience. If I like, now that I'm done with it, and I went and got all the Dragon Balls, and there was huge letdown. I should have gotten while I was playing the game, because then it would have been more useful. I was just thought like, oh man, maybe it's something like cool. No, it's something you can do over and over again. You just have to find the Dragon Balls over and over again, and I was like, fuck it, can't be bothered with it. So the only thing I'm looking forward to is at some point playing it with other people at some point, because a lot of people are getting it, that sort of stuff, and it's
my PSN list is mostly comprised of people, including yourself, playing that game, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
I
Can
think,
someone play a game I have? That'd be cool.
well, it's like fighting game wise, it's really fun, addicting fighting gameplay, and like they have parallel quests that are like side quests that are really tough, and I did a little bit way too much of them before I went to the last part of the story, so I ended up being like overpowered.
So you over level.
Yeah. I didn't.
I still remember that argument.
Yeah. I still feel like it's an argument. It's still an argument in some games, but this one was more my own fault. So I'm not blaming the game at all. I'm just.
I mean, I hope not.
Like, because it like.
Damn you, game! You made me over level. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, like, I feel like if you don't have, like I always. What is fucking game called? Oh shit! Now I can't. Kingdoms of Amalur is the biggest game I bring up when it comes to over leveling, because there you have like if you like just enjoy a little bit of the side quest, you instantly get overpowered and over leveled. Everything dies with only a couple of hits almost, and like it's a kind of problem when you can't really explore and enjoy the other content, because you want at least some bit of challenge. So that's only when it's an issue.
But that game is still a damn good game because it's got chakras. What other game has chakras? None.
Yeah, that the side quests in that game, like the problem when you were meant to do an MMO and then you at the end turn it into an RPG, makes it so that you don't have the greatest quality.
It's like a game that tried to be an MMO but fell short of being an actual true MMO.
No, they didn't have the money to make it an MMO, so they just turned it into an RPG and here it is. So
it's kind of like Destiny, or it gives you the vibe that it's gonna be an MMO, but it's very bare bones.
Yeah, well, you can only play single player in Kingdoms of Amalur, so you can only play
multiplayer in that game would be fun. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But you have chakras and all these different weapons and this big open field. Actually,
the gameplay in it is fantastic. That's why so many people had like, if they would have meant to do it as an RPG from the get-go, they wouldn't have closed shop if that was the case.
Any PC gamers that are listening to this, you want to go mod that on PC, Kingdoms of Amalur multiplayer,
Yeah.
go ahead and do it. That'd be kind of cool to see. I mean, they did Skyrim multiplayer,
Yeah.
so anything's possible.
Yeah, try that, Skyrim.
Just throwing that out there.
I think my computer crashed several times, or like the game crashed several times. I didn't really work for me. Yes. So, is there any other, or what like with just one final thing? Like, we are done with everything about the Order 1886. There's nothing else you will want to say. Okay, just clearing that.
It is game of the year. I'm gonna say it now. It's game of the year. Actually, in all seriousness, it is my current game of the year. That probably most likely change because we got several months of this year.
Yeah.
It is my current game of the year, and everybody should give it a chance. Just give it a chance.
Yeah, just either rent it or wait until it gets a little bit cheaper, then get it.
Yeah, but don't listen to the people that say it's complete garbage, because it's not complete garbage, and to me it's kind of disrespectful in a way.
Yeah, it's like an above-average game.
You can tell they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
And when you see people like, oh, it's shit, it's garbage, it's kind of disrespectful. Because then it kind of leads to certain developers go, well, why should we put all this work into it when you're just going to say it's shit? So
yeah, I mean, like, the problem is,
think of the future, children. Think of the future.
I just think when it comes to AAAs nowadays, like, they always try to do bigger and better the next big thing, and for the love of God, just make a good game. Like just make a good or like great game, just and then build from there. Whatever.
That reminds me. I don't know if you watched this, but I made a video titled "What is Next Gen Gameplay?" I don't know. Have you watched that?
I watched some. Well, maybe if you talk a little bit more about it, I can.
The title is "What is Next Gen Gameplay?"
Yeah, I don't remember if I.
It's actually pretty unpopular. It got 2 thumbs down. So and nobody answered my question. So obviously someone got a stick up their ass, but decided not to actually answer my question. But that reminds me, there's several times that I saw people when talking about Order, like, oh, this is not next gen gameplay. I expected next gen gameplay, and this is not next gen gameplay. So what the hell is next gen gameplay supposed to be?
That was
I don't know.
I was just about to say the same thing. No, okay, that was probably one of the videos I haven't gotten to watch yet. But I mean, I would say the same thing. Like, what is next gen gameplay? Like, nothing. No one promised you that we were gonna get different gameplay. Like, we are not at that point yet that we can.
It's like I said in my video. I don't really see how you can improve the core basics of every genre that's out there right now. I don't see how you can improve the core gameplay of a third-person shooter to make it better, because I think it's already been done great.
Yeah.
The only thing you can really do with games nowadays is worry about how they look, how they perform on a technical level, and the amount of content in the game, and the presentation.
Yeah.
So I just, people kept complaining about it. I just blew my stack because I got tired of hearing it. So
yeah, I just think like AAAs nowadays, they just wanted, like, the developers, the companies, they always just want to try and reach the next level.
They should just concentrate on making good, solid games.
Exactly, like, that's
all they should concentrate on.
That's why Destiny could have been a great game, but they're like, we are not gonna make an MMO. Instead, we're gonna make something worse. I'm like, why the fuck did you not just look at the model?
Well, it's because they want to sell it as DLC. It's an Activision.
Yeah, well, okay, they don't have to make it an MMO. Let it be that, but they could have at least looked at some of the models, like that WoW or any other MMO out there did, and copy that and make them themselves. They can still have this bullshit. You can only see people sometimes, whatever. But at least, like,
You can't interact with anybody. It's like the most unsociable MMO hybrid game I've ever played in my life. I mean, you can dance with them and point at them and sit with them, but that's about it. That's the thing about Destiny is you couldn't give anything to anybody. That's the thing that really pissed me off about the game, because you would find something like, oh, this is cool armor. Oh, shit, I don't have this class. I would love to give this to my friend. Oh, you can't. Why? Because fuck you. That's
so, like, I went for, like, the strange coins or whatever. I paid for, like, the exotic engram helmet. And then you can get something in another class, and of course I didn't get it in the Titan class. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck, I'm just gonna dismantle it, because no fucking way am I making a new class. So,
I mean, I did. I put a lot of time in making 2 other classes, because I maxed out all the classes. But it's still beside the point that if you want to make a game that's about sociality, is that a word? I don't know.
One thing they've put in, though, is, sociality seems like a social
That sounds
game.
like a word, but I'm not sure if it's a word.
Well, I mean, they have
I
put
might
in,
have just invented a word. History has just been made. I might have just invented a word.
They finally put in at least that you can speak to other, like, you can enter a fire team channel, whatever it is, and speak to other people.
Yeah, voice chat. Give other people items. It doesn't have to be armor. Give them weapons. Give them materials.
Yeah.
Just do something. I mean, I think the Elder Scrolls online game had the same problem, I think. Like, you couldn't give anything to anybody. I mean, I could be wrong. I never played it.
Yeah.
But it's like, you make all these sociable games, and there's no sociableness.
Yeah, I just played in the beta for that one, and then just realized that, like, it was way too expensive for something that wasn't good enough. Like, too bad.
Well, it is a good thing when they're releasing the console versions finally. I didn't think they were ever going to see the light of day, but they got rid of that stupid subscription.
Okay.
Which is Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
they're actually
anything
getting
about
rid of the
it.
subscription, because that pisses me off so much about some MMOs. Okay, we're going to charge you $60. Now we want $15 a month from now on till the end of time.
Yeah.
I think either you should charge me base price,
or you should
just do subscription.
Yeah.
And then allow me, like, okay, I'll pay $15 this month, and this month, but I won't pay for the next 2 months, and then I'll start it back up again. At least give me the choice.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do both. And that's what they did. And they realized, oh, fuck, this game's not going to sell on consoles, so we have to get rid of the subscription, and they did. So that's good. I'm probably still not going to get it right away, but at least it's a step in the right direction. Positivity.
Yes, positivity. Okay, so is there anything else in the gaming scene lately that we need to discuss about?
There are some things. I don't know if anybody be interested to hear about them. Like, there's I made a video about reviews and how they need to be honest. That was the main issue I had with DSP and Angry Joe's review of the Order.
What my thing about it is, like, when it comes to Angry Joe, like, sometimes they get their feelings wrapped up in their reviews, and I think that's something that's the most difficult things to, like, you wanted to, sure, it's always gonna be some opinions in type of reviews, but sometimes
a review is basically an opinion.
Yeah, it's your opinion, but sometimes it's just a little bit too carried away. Angry Joe is more that than he's have problem being objective. Angry Joe, that's one of my main problems, has always been about Angry Joe. He's a little bit too, like, lacking the ability to see other points of views from people.
It's like I put a Gaizo up of one of the tweets he made. He's like, I can't believe people are defending this 5-hour prequel or this, like,
6 hour 6-7 hour prequel was he called.
I don't think he said prequel. He said like tech demo or
Yeah.
like the start of some.
QT driven.
Yeah, it's like well maybe because some people I don't know maybe they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean it's possible.
Yeah.
And
then he went off a tweet saying that he understand that people liked it, and that's he's so good at contradicting himself.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you just said 5 minutes ago you can't believe people are defending it. Well, people, if they like something, they're going to defend it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But just I briefly mentioned there's this YouTube user who's called Crap Gamer, and he does reviews.
Yeah.
And he's mostly an Xbox fan, and he makes videos bashing Sony.
Yeah.
But he also does regular reviews, and he was doing reviews of PlayStation 4 games and Wii U games.
Okay.
And he did one on the order, and of course he trashed it.
Yeah.
Come to find out, he only played like 2 hours. Because someone looked at his trophy card, and he's only got 2 trophies.
Okay.
And didn't even have the trophy where you beat the game.
Yeah.
And
that's really
it's
bad.
dishonest reviews,
Yeah.
and a couple other people did it too. But the next day, people did some more digging, and they found out that the footage he used wasn't even his. He's been stealing other people's gameplay footage for his reviews, and not just for that review, for almost every review he's done.
Oh damn!
Yes, people, as we speak, right this minute. People are looking at his old videos and finding out that he's lifting other people's footage. And by the way, he's got ads on his videos, so he's making money off of other people's footage.
If you're doing a review, or you have to ask them or credit. You need to credit people.
I've always said that if you're going to use someone else's footage, take 2 seconds, put their channel in the description.
Yeah.
You don't have to put an annotation in your video. You don't have to actually edit the video and put their channel in it. Just put it in the description. Do something. I mean, I've had some people use footage that was mine.
Yeah.
And not only did they thank me in the video and actually put my channel in the video, they put it in the description too. They didn't have to do it. It's called common courtesy.
Yeah.
But what makes it even worse, because it gets worse, he is now taking down his videos before people are downloading them before he does it. Yeah. He's privating the videos too. His excuse, you ready for this? Hold on to something. Hold on to something. His excuse for lifting other people's footage is because, number one, it's fair use, meaning he can do it, which he's right, he can. I mean, someone can take my videos and use them. They're a dick if they do it without asking me, but they can do it. I can't do nothing to legally stop them.
Yeah.
His other excuse is he's got poor internet.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
If that's of only it's only if I don't know, if it was playing an online game. That is where I would understand it, but I mean, for the Order 1886, it doesn't matter at all.
No, it's like, I'll save you the 10 minutes or so, because I did make a video about this.
Yeah.
You can record gameplay footage offline.
Yeah.
You can use capture cards and capture game footage offline.
Yeah.
You can use the PlayStation 4's video capturing ability offline.
Yeah.
But you want to know what you need to be online for to do? To upload the video.
Yeah.
So the one thing that he actually did that he wasn't lazy to do is the thing that you actually need the internet for.
Yeah.
So it's like, at that point, you should just admit you're just lazy. Either you don't want to capture the footage because it actually takes time to actually capture footage, and either you just don't want to play the game, but you want to review it and trash it, but you don't want to play the game. See, at that point, you should have just said that. Because that would have been a lot better than just saying, oh, because I have poor internet.
Yeah.
And yes, as we speak, he's getting wrecked. He's still getting wrecked. It's actually very interesting morning reading when I'm at work on Twitter, just seeing people wreck him. It's funny as hell.
It's it's his, like, I mean, when you, like, it's your career, it's your life, so I mean, he should have, like, that's the point where he contacts a PR firm or someone that does PR and, like, how the fuck do I salvage this? Because, like, most people on the YouTube are just gonna fuck everything up, and now he's gonna look like he doesn't have a YouTube life anymore.
It's like I said, thievery doesn't pay off in the end. In the short term, it might seem like it'll help you,
Yeah.
but eventually karma eventually turns around and comes back and collects. And that's why I've stated several times, the most important thing you can do to be a YouTuber is to be honest.
Yeah.
You may not be the best YouTuber because I'm not the best YouTuber,
Yeah.
but the one thing I do have is honesty.
Yeah.
I will always be 100% honest in anything. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I will be honest.
Yeah, and I don't get it how you can be that, like, I mean, if you don't want to, like, do this, like, if you don't want to play games, then don't fucking play. Like, if you don't want to finish games, then you should do something else.
I mean,
I'd
I'd have more respect.
Do first impressions.
If he was just acting like a normal fanboy and just said, you know what, I fucking hate Sony, so I'm not going to play this game. Fuck Sony. I'd have more respect for that. Because at least you're admitting you're not playing it.
Yeah.
So this YouTube gaming community is just, I don't know, it's filled with all these different people, and it's just crazy. It's just really crazy.
Yeah, so I think that wraps us up because we.
Unless you want to talk about Gamergate.
Oh yay! That's just fucking nice and happy rainbows, all of that.
That would add another hour to this already long video.
Yeah, like, you know, I just want
Save that for another time.
I just want to point out, like, for people, like, about like the whole Gamergate, whatever. Like, we all just be diverse and just fucking love games. Who fuck cares? Like, yeah, people are gonna have other opinions and see things differently, but I know it's
according to mainstream media, apparently all male gamers are rapists and they want to rape and murder women.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember the last time I did that.
I mean, like, mainstream media is getting more and more pointless, so nobody fucking cares that actually cares, or too many people actually do care. I'm gonna point that out. So
it influences a lot more than you think.
Yeah,
because
I know.
It's going to, like, that Law and Order episode. Now, I don't want to get too much into it because I can go on for an hour on that damn episode, but most of the people who watch that episode are middle-aged Americans who know nothing about the gaming industry, the gaming culture. They know nothing.
Yeah.
So they're going to look at that and they're going to see male gamers as these sexist, racist pigs who want to murder women.
Girl.
Yeah, exactly. So when they actually meet a male gamer, they already have a perception of it. The most amusing thing is that most of Anita Sarkeesian's critics are women.
Yeah.
There's a ton of women that don't agree with her, but she does not mention them. To me, that is more disrespectful towards women than anything a dumb teenager can say online.
Well, one person I would like to contact is, do you watch Last Week with John Oliver?
I know who John Oliver is, but I've not watched that series.
You should. It's like most of the stuff is on YouTube, so they put on most of the stuff on YouTube. You should at least check it out. The thing is, I when that show, I'm just like, if I sort of were more popular or something, I would try and pressure him and you should have Anita Sarkeesian on, and then you should bring on all the female YouTube critics, and they would now hair.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was like, that would be so brilliant.
Oh God, that needs to happen. I'm now picturing it in my head. That needs to happen.
Yeah,
that needs to happen.
Because the reason why I thought about this is because he had at one point Bill Nye the Science Guy on, because everyone just puts him on, and then have someone who is against global warming, like it, and that sort of stuff. And he just find it hilarious because like it's a fact, global warming exists. You can't be against it. So instead,
you can't argue numbers and facts.
Yeah, exactly,
but
exactly.
Try to.
Exactly. So what he did, he brought in Bill Nye the Science Guy, and then someone who was against it, and then so like for make this fair for what it really is, he brought in like 50 like other scientists that supported Bill Nye the Science Guy, and they just like, now let's have the debate, 1 against and 50 like, so yeah, you should check that at that moment, because like when I saw that, I'm like, that is what I want with Anita Sarkeesian. Just put her there and be like, and then have someone who is on the other side, and then be like, oh yeah, here's all the female who are against you, and like,
I would just be satisfied, even though I'd love to see that. I would just be satisfied if she debated one female.
Oh, gamer. That's true.
I mean, I there's quite a bit of female gamer friends that I have.
Yeah.
That would destroy her in a debate.
Yeah.
And actually, they've already made videos about her.
Yeah.
But of course, that they're women. She's not going to acknowledge them. But if I made a video about her,
yeah,
it'd be different.
Yeah. Oh man.
But my video wouldn't have even acknowledged because I only have 100 something.
I mean, like, she's gonna avoid it to the end of time, because like she needs to play the victim game. That's how she makes her money.
Professional victim.
Yeah. It's hilarious because she's against it in video games.
But remember, she's on camera saying that she does not like video games and doesn't play them, but yes, she's supposedly an expert at them.
It's like,
wrap that one around your head.
Like, I feel bad for like every female gamer, because that's like having someone that who is like, oh, she is the one like representing us. Like who the fuck asked her to represent?
Some people say to me, okay, she's really stupid, but her main core point is still valid. I'm like, no, it's not. What does she say that really has a valid point? I can't think of it. Is there sexism in the gaming industry? I mean, I'm sure there's some, but there's sexism in every industry everywhere. Yeah. It's not a gaming problem.
Yeah, like sexism in general. I had a discussion with like what type of work sort of I'm probably gonna have when I get to Canada, and he straight up said that unless you're good looking, you won't work at a bar. Unless you're a good-looking 20-year-old woman, you won't work at a bar. Like,
oh yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true.
Like that's so true. And like,
how many 40-year-old fat bald guys you see working at a bar?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think that wraps us all up.
It's like just one more thing. Just one more thing.
Sure.
Just one more thing. It's like when they talk about Grand Theft Auto. And how, you can kill women prostitutes.
Yeah. Okay,
that's not a Grand Theft Auto issue. Blame whoever the fuck started prostitution in history.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. We can't ignore real things.
And also, Amsterdam, when they for a weekend, they stopped, they made it so that's not legal to with prostitution for a weekend, and I think their crime rate exponentially increased with 100% or something like that. The crime, it's just the whole city went crazy, and they're after that weekend no, we're gonna still have this legal, and that sort of thing makes the world funny. People, instead of people should just make it be legal and make it safe instead of just what it is now.
Regulated.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's getting into all different.
We should be running the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can like, as I said last time, you can plug yourself because it's easier for you because you remember all of your stuff. So
All of my stuff, my one thing.
yes.
All right. My YouTube channel name is www.youtube.com/DanTheMan0531. Check me out if you're interested. Got lots of different things on there.
Yes. You're also on Twitter at it's the same
Same name.
Same name. So easy name to remember. So yes, and for me, when it comes to podcasts in the future, I have no idea what's going to happen with my next couple of podcasts because I haven't planned anything for the future. But maybe I will hit 100 episodes before I leave to Canada since the visas haven't been released yet and that sort of stuff. So
You got to at least get to 100. 100's a big milestone.
yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
So it's like it feels a little bit weird if I don't reach 100 before I leave because maybe I will just like fly like do 99, then I have to go to wait. I'm like
Leave it at 99.
yeah, and be like, oh, I don't know when I ever gonna get the internet again and that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's great, fun. Well, so yeah, you can find my stuff. If you're already watching this, then you're already at this YouTube channel, and people can subscribe. I say thumbs up for that. And other than that, I'm Story of Crown on everywhere else: Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. I keep saying my Tumblr, but I'm never using it, so I don't know. It's pointless. But Instagram is going to be more used, especially when I go to Canada. So there's that. So yeah, I think that's everything for plugging segment of this show. So anything else you want to say before we leave here?
Nope, all good.
Okay, so thank you all for watching, listening, whatever you've been doing. Well, being entertained by this, and yeah,
Hopefully it was something legal.
yeah.
Don't do anything illegal
Well, you
listen to
can
this,
do
'cause
illegal.
We don't want to get blamed for anything that you're doing.
Well, like if you want to do illegal stuff while watching this, you can't blame us. We didn't do anything. We are
No, it's your fault.
yes,
Your fault
exactly.
alone.
So yeah, thank you all for watching, listening. Goodbye.